Hello YouTubers, how you doing? CJ here. I hope everybody's keeping well. Okay, so this video is a vinyl update video. I had an email the other day, basically about me talking too much before I start showing the videos, before I start showing you my collection. I do apologize about that. It's just sometimes there are things that needs to be said and put out there. So anyway, okay. I'm not going to talk for too much longer. Let's get right into it, shall we? Now, as you all know, I've been collecting the UK press-ins, but I've been collecting the first editions. It's been really tough, and I have found a few things quite expensive. But I've also learned a lot as well, because you see, when I had my father's collection, I never had to worry about playing them and looking at them and so forth, because I already had my records I collected myself before my dad gave them to me. So I'm finding out quite a lot of new information about the releases and about different things. I'm really enjoying it as well. I guess the collector in me has really started to come out now, and I'm just really enjoying it. So I showed you what I had, what I managed to get hold of in my first video, my last video shall I say, and now since then I've got another nice selection. There's actually two records I forgot to pull out here which are on my list, so I'm just going to get those now. There's the one. Sorry. Trust me to forget two of them. Oh my goodness. No. Ah, there it is. Okay, so this is before that. I'm going to show you them in order. Not in the order I got them in, but the order upwards, because obviously I can put them back on my shelf better. Okay, so here we go without further ado. So I've got them in these protective sleeves, plastic sleeves, so I'm going to take the sleeves out and I'll put them back in later. So here we have the original UK, they're all UK first press ends, apart from the last two, which I'm going to explain to you when I come to them. This is Elvis King Creole. And as I said, when I have finished completing everything, I will do an actual video, and I will tell you about the website that I'm using as reference. Because it tells you all the variations and all the variations of the first press-ins and different things. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Something for everybody. Now, if I can put the records in, as I said in my first video, to where I can put the sleeves in, to where I can take the record out, that's what I'll do. Some of them I've got to put them in the other way, but it is where it is. That's something for everybody. Now, probably a few people are going to tell me off about this next album, because when I was going through my list, as I said, I got a list here of all the UK official original first press-ins in order. But there was one vinyl I didn't even have on the list. And when I discovered it, I went through and I double-checked to make sure that I hadn't missed out anything else. Thankfully, this was the only one I'd missed out, and I wrote it on the list. Now, believe it or not, I bought it before I realised it. Because whenever I buy a vinyl, as soon as it comes, I'll go to the list and I'll cross it off when it's in my hands. And I couldn't find it on the list, and that's when I discovered it. So I wrote it in and then crossed it off. And that is, it happened at the World's Fair. How crazy is that? It must have just been in my mind or something that, you know, I needed to still get hold of this. So it happened at the World's Fair. This is one that I've had to take. I love them when they come with the original sleeves as well that they came in. Now obviously this is on the small dot label. Like I said, this website, I'm finding a lot of things out from it, different variations. What is the first variation? What's the second? What's the third? Everything else. What's the ninth even? You know, I'm just so fascinated about how they all came out. And as I said, I was recommended to buy books, different ones, and I got so confused, and I thought there must be a way of finding out what the original first pressings are. For the UK without having to buy this book. And when I found this website, it was just brilliant. There was only one little hiccup I had with the website, and there was an Elvis channel that showed what I needed to find out, which I'm going to do a video of all the channels as well that I'm subscribed of and that I recommend you take a watch of too, because there's some amazing channels out there. So, the next one is Flaming Star and Summer Kisses, Winter Tears. Flaming Star and Summer Kisses, brilliant album. I'm trying to juggle this so I can show you the show them without getting any reflections or any glaze. If you do see any glaze and reflections, as always, I do apologize. Okay, then the next one is Frankie and Johnny. And then it's clam bake. I don't like it when they put stickers on them, but it is what it is. There's an old saying, as I always say on my videos, if you look after your stuff will look after you. So I always take the time to put them back in. Okay, the next one is Speedway. So this was really expensive on eBay. You know, I mean, I couldn't get over the prices of them. 40 quid, 50 quid, 60 quid, even £100 for this. There were loads of them. It's not exactly rare to come by. So I don't know why it's that price, but there we have it. But I didn't pay anywhere near that for this. So I like shopping around. Pardon the pun. I just realised. And I don't mean, well, I do love the song, but I'm on about with collecting as well. I don't just use eBay, there are other places. Excuse me. And then we have Elvis Now. Now these two box sets, what's ironic, it advertises the Worldwide 50 Gold Award Hits Vol 1 and Elvis the other side's Worldwide Gold Award Hits Vol 2. Now this is the UK pressing. As I said, that's all I'm collecting is the UK first editions. And yet, on the back of this, it advertises Volume 2 with the Elvis swatch and the poster, when in fact when released here in the UK, they didn't come out like that. It was only in America they came out like that, and obviously they got imported. But yeah, because I was watching one of them on eBay, and it was just too high, and I couldn't go for it, because even though they're not albums, they're still you know, within his lifetime, and I thought it would be pretty cool. But they never came out like that. They're not something I'm going to rush to get hold of because they're compilations, so I'll probably get them when I'm finished. So, Elvis now. Okay. Right, there's a bit of a story on this one. On this next one. When looking around, I was truly gobsmacked of why I couldn't find a UK pressing. Well, I say looking around, I was looking on eBay for this one. And it's Raised on Rock. Now this is the UK first pressing. See, there it is. Gives the UK address. I've even put the receipt. I don't normally keep like receipts of things, but it's quite a unique story for me, so I've kept the receipt for it as well, which I'll show you in a minute without showing you personal details. Okay, so Raised on Rock, and it's in mint condition, like mint. I'm trying to get it in focus for you to see it's well, you can see it's not the Dynaflux version. Now, the story behind this is, well, number one, it's got two titles. It's called Raised on Rock and For Old Time's Sake. The story behind this is there was an issue at the pressing factory here in the UK. Now, I've heard two different stories. The one story is that I'm trying to remember the other story. There was there was issues with the pressing plants. So they started importing the vinyls from the US and Germany and what have you. And then the other one I heard, which seems more plausible, is the fact that there was a strike on at the time, and there was. Why is that going in there? I got told there was a strike, and because of the strike, they found it hard and difficult to continue pressing the vinyl. There's only so many of these actually put out. I'm told not many was produced here in the UK. And what they did do, however, was have the UK cover, have the UK sleeve, but the vinyl was imported from Germany or America, and places like that. It's very hard to come across a UK pressing of the vinyl with the UK sleeve, because after the sleeve ran out, because what basically you get some that's in the UK sleeve, like I said, with the vinyl being pressed from another place, from another country in the world. But this one is the UK sleeve with the UK cover, and I'm really happy about that. And it is it wasn't too expensive. I did find one on one website, and the guy wanted £300 for it. I believe it's still on the site, which personally myself, for something that's, if it was like, I don't know, the HMV vinyls or whatever, the part me could understand, but I think personally, because it's not exactly, you know, you can still get it. You can still get the album. You can get it, but it'll just be from Germany or something like that. But again, you know, different collectors, people have different opinions. In my opinion, it's a bit steep. That's my personal opinion. Right, so let me fold this over because I don't want to give out any address details for myself or anything like that. Okay, let's just make sure. Okay, so I got this from Discogs. Okay, Discogs, and I paid £80 for the album and £6 postage. So £86 I paid for Raised on Rock, which is on the front cover, and on the back cover it's got For Old Time's Sake with Raised on Rock by here. And there's the tracks. And it's a really good album. Now, apparently, the full album, which was the album before this one, it also affected that. Now, in my last video I did showing my Elvis vinyl, I showed you both variations, and I did explain a little bit about the pressing issues, but I've got a UK one of the full album along with another UK one, but the record is pressed in Canada, so I'm so happy to have gotten the Raised on Rock For Old Time's Sake. I'm going to re-default that. I'll put that on top and I'll put it away later. Alright, so the next album. Now, I wasn't too sure whether to get this yet. A lot of people got different opinions about it. I think it's still pretty cool to have. It's kind of different. But it is where it is, and I enjoy it. So it's in my collection. It's Having Fun with Elvis. Having Fun with Elvis on Stage. Now, obviously, this came out in the US first by Boxcar, which was Colonel Parker's company, and then obviously RCA. Okay, now this is after 1977. This is after Elvis sadly passed. As I said from the start when collecting, after Elvis's passing, I'm being very selective on what I buy because I'm not gonna buy everything. There is a limited sort of selection that I am going to collect. I'm not going to be too bothered about collecting those now. I'm going to concentrate on from 56 to 77, doing Elvis's lifetime. And basically, if I find anything after 77 and it's a really good price, then I'll pick it up. You know, there's no saying that if you've got the opportunity and the opportunity's right, grab it with both hands. Okay, so in my last video I did show you this vinyl here, A Legendary Performer, Volume 3, and this is the picture disc version. Okay, that's the picture disc version, which I showed you in my last video. But I've got this thing, but never really playing picture discs. Now, it's got the book, and I remember saying to you that the page is taken off the back one on there, and that if I did, at some point I will replace it. But what I've decided to do is, because a friend of mine, well, not a friend, he's not a friend at all, he's my bro. My brother Rossi, you'll know him as Rossi73. He gave me this when he gave me the first lot of vinyls. So I'm keeping hold of this. And why am I putting them back in there? I'll do that afterwards. And recently I've just managed to come across this. It was very, very cheap, and I've now replaced it. So here's my replacement. Well, it's not replacement, it's a new added to my collection. It's my new edition. Because, and that's why this video will be called my new editions. I mean, if it was a replacement, it means I would be getting rid of that one, but I'm not. So it's the same book, which is the covers here. And here's the sleeve. I love the way that looks, that label. Gotta be honest, it's a pretty cool and snazzy label. I like it. There we go. So it's a Legendary Performer Volume 3, black label. Well, black vinyl, blue label. Now there is a Volume 4 as well, which I showed you in my last video. That's the 50th anniversary, and I know that's also out there with a book and everything, so I'm going to keep a lookout for that. The next one, now this is actually, I think this is a 4th edition. Again, like I said, this is after Elvis' death, so I'm not too worried about whether or not they're first pressings, as long as I have them in my collection, because I had them as a kid growing up. This is Love Songs. It's got the pictures in there. And the last one I'm going to show you is Elvis Sings Country Favorites. This is pretty cool. I love this cover, I gotta be honest. I think it's pretty cool. And it's a really good compilation as well. I actually listened to this the day before yesterday, and I really enjoyed it. The compilation, you've got side 1, Are You Lonesome Tonight? Release Me and Let Me Love Again. I Can't Stop Loving You. Make the World Go Away. Your Cheating Heart. Welcome to My World. I Really Don't Want to Know. Then you got side 2. You got Gentle on My Mind. Funny How Time Slips Away. I'm Moving On. Faded Love. I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. You Gave Me a Mountain. And She Thinks I Still Care. I think it's a great compilation album. I love the cover. I'm not sure if this is actually out on CD. I'm going to check on that. If not, I am going to replicate it. I do think it's a pretty cool cover. And like guitar is amazing. I just love it. I think it's brilliant. And this is on the Reader's Digest label. So they are my new editions. I do have another new edition that will be with me. It says on eBay tracking it'll be with me on Saturday. And if you remember the first video, I showed you the Golden Records Volume 1, which had the booklet, but it's a different booklet to what the first booklet was. You had the booklet where it's the same as the Christmas album in America. Now, there was a part of me thinking, because it's still a first pressing, I thought to myself, should I or should I not get it? But then when I was looking at the booklet in the Christmas album, and then somebody on YouTube showed their Golden Records and their booklet with it, I thought, oh, so there is a slight difference then. So I thought, no, I've got to get it. I would have got it eventually when I've collected everything else, because like I said, I still have the first pressing. but it's the second variation. But the first variation is or variation 1 as it's called, which is the actual first, is the one which is similar to the Christmas album that came out in America, which I showed you on my previous video. So I will be doing, I don't know now with how many that's on the list to get, because the list is getting smaller. The list is getting smaller. You see how many is now crossed out on the first page compared to the last time I showed. Same with the second page. My third page is complete. So happy days. I'm not sure now whether to do another video on my vinyl after I finished. I mean, I've got the best of Elvis on my list. It's a compilation album, and I've always said with compilations, the only compilation albums that have really sort of meant a lot to me in that respect, again, first pressings, is the golden records. Obviously, is the Legendary Performer Volume 1 and 2, which came out within his lifetime. At least I think, anyway. I'm sure they did. Yes, they did. But it's the best of from the 50s on the HMV label. I've seen it go anywhere. Well, the cheapest I've seen is like £15. So I don't know. I might. I mean, you know, whether I get it on the HMV or whether I get it in the RCA, I don't know. If I do go for the HMV, it'll be one of the last I get hold of. So, yeah, I think my next vinyl editions, or my new buys, it's going to be when I've collected, because I've only got to get all of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've only got to get 7 more records, and that's it. My UK first pressings are complete. It'll be 8 I got to get, with the one coming this Saturday, but I'll have it, you know, it says on eBay this Saturday on the tracking, so hopefully it'll come Saturday. If not, it'll be early next week. But to actually buy, there's only 7. So yeah, I think my next video now for me showing vinyls will be when I complete the collection, which hopefully won't be very, very long. So until the next time, take care of yourselves, and I hope you keep well, and I hope you keep safe. Alright? Take care, y'all.